Can you hear me? My apologies. Sorry about that, guys. Let me go back and reintroduce myself. My name is BJ with RealRegal Perfumes. Thank you for calling my attention to the audio thing. Is it working good now? Can you guys hear me? My apologies. Can you hear me now? If you can hear me, please, click, let me know. Just click on like. All right. Thank you, guys. So once again, my name is BJ. I'm one of the marketing managers here at RealRegal Perfumes. Of course, we manufacture luxury perfumes. This is Afrocentric. Of course, we're inspired by the African heritage. So, of course, if you're hearing us, that's the goal, of course, to recognize the African heritage. So we bring something very, very different. We're building our own brand. We're not imitating anybody. We're not trying to copy somebody. This is our own identity. All right. Like I said, of course, we are inspired by the African heritage. So most of the product that you're going to be getting from RealRegal will be more Afrocentric. You're going to have a lot of African, spices in them. So, guys, if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, we're trying to grow this. Please help us by subscribe. Just click on subscribe. It's free. Go right and subscribe and share this channel as well. So, of course, other people can subscribe to our beautiful work that we're trying to get done. So we make luxury perfume. At the moment, of course, we focus on eau de perfume and perfume. All right, which, of course, are the top tiers in the perfume family. So we have different categories. A lot of people don't understand the difference, We have different categories of perfume. We have the eau de toilette, we have the cologne, we have the eau de perfume, and we have perfume. And a lot of times, I hear people say, oh, do you sell cologne or do you sell perfume? So I'm like, sometimes, because I understand where that is coming from. So I'm like, okay, so which one is cologne? Which one is perfume? They said, oh, cologne is for men. It's very important, of course, to bring that to the awareness of our people. So cologne is actually the lowest grade in the perfume family, all right? Because it contains 2% oil presence. So for those who don't know, cologne is not for men. Cologne is just the lowest grade of perfume because of the oil content. Because oil basically, of course, we will sustain the longevity in terms of the smell. When you have something smells very good, sometimes it lasts for 30 minutes, for 1 hour. You see some people keep their perfumes in their purses because they want to always make sure, of course, they smell good again. After 30 minutes leaving the house, of course, they don't smell it no more. So it's because of the concentration of the perfume that they have. So it's very important, of course, to understand what the difference is between cologne and perfume. So perfume is the highest grade in the perfume family. All right, because when you see anything that says perfume, sometimes, the French call it parfum or extract. When you see those are the real deal because that's where the quality is. So anything you see that says perfume has minimum of at least 20% oil and up, depending on the quality of the oil. So a lot of time, people purchase perfume and they're like, oh, is it eau de toilette or eau de perfume? When you're talking of the cologne or eau de toilette, those are the lowest grade because eau de toilette is about 5% oil presence, which only gives you very little longevity in terms of the smell. So if you smell good and you realize like in an hour, 2 hours, of course, the smell is gone, oh, Iran, wow, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Oh, Iranian, thank you. All right, our product is called RealRegal. That's the name of our brand. And by the way, guys, of course, we recently became officially a brand on last week. So our trademark registration has been approved by the USPTO. So we're currently and officially a brand. So, very soon, of course, you're going to be, noticing, you're going to be finding us on the shelf. If you haven't, actually come across us on the internet, because we're trying to also dominate the internet space, to create the awareness on the good things that we're trying to, push out there. So guys, very important to know, we sell perfume. Our perfume ranging from 25% and up in terms of oil presence. So We have 6 different perfume concentrated product at the moment. So just to brief you guys real quickly, we also have 4 different Edo perfume, which are less concentration. They have about 15% oil presence. So with Edo perfume, of course, you still get between 6 to 10 hours in longevity. So with a Edo perfume, we have a Malaika Wood, we have AKARA Essence, we have KENTE Fusion. KENTE Fusion, by the way, is one of our top sellers. A lot of people like this KENTE Fusion. And from the name, you can tell, of course, we're Afrocentric. We're inspired by the African heritage. So of course, we're trying to create our own identity. We're not trying to mimic anybody. We're not trying to be, like anybody else. We're trying to be like ourselves. So those are the Edo perfume. Then we also have where is the 4th one? Ubuntu Bloom. Oh, okay. Maybe I don't have a bottle here. So those are the 4. We have the Ubuntu Bloom, we have the AKARA Essence, we have the Malaika Wood, and we have the KENTE Fusion. So if you're looking for something casual, something very, more like a date night type of perfume that you could wear that will give you between 6 to 8 hours. Of course, we have KENTE Fusion. You can look at the bottle, very well curated. Of course, they are all from natural ingredients. And look at that, presentation right there. Look at the bottle, very nice. That's basically what you get once you purchase any of our Edo perfume. Of course, they come under $60. You can look at our website, www.realregalperfumes.com. You can find, what matches your personality there, based on the notes, because you have to make sure, of course, you look at the notes to see the ingredients put together to actually give you that sense. So you don't necessarily gonna have the days where you have to, I can't smell it. Let me see. Maybe it smells good. But when you understand what the notes present in that particular product, then of course, you can actually match it up to your personality to see, of course, if it fits into your lifestyle or your style in general. So guys, thank you very much. And like I said, of course, if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please go right ahead and click on subscribe. All right, it's free. We just want you guys to follow our journey as we start. Of course, this is, fairly new in the market. Of course, we're less than 5 years. Effectively, of course, our perfume section started about 2 years ago. So, but we're hitting it. We've come to dominate. We've come with our own identity. This is RealRegal, guys. So, just to give you guys an idea. So on the perfume category that we carry, which are the top category in the perfume industry, of course, we have 6 premium products. The first one I'll mention, of course, is the KIBO Wood, guys. Of course, if you guys can see it, KIBO Wood is, pure wood. It has a very strong oud presence. If you're the oudy type of person, you like oud, this is going to work for you. This is one of our top sellers for men, because of course it has a very, very dominant strong oudy smell. So you can check it out on that shelf. You can check it online. We're present on Amazon. We're present on currently on Walmart. We have a TikTok shop as well. If you look at RealRegal Perfumes on TikTok, of course, you can actually find a shop on TikTok shop. So KIBO Wood, guys. Then we also have ZURI BLOOM. ZURI BLOOM is more floral. A lot of ladies like this, even though it's unisex. So this is something very nice that you can check. And look at the bottle. Look at that presentation, guys. Of course, I'm always so proud of this company. Like, we have something very carefully curated. And since our brand is official now too, by the way, of course, you're going to have something more branded. Of course, our bottles are coming more branded now. They're actually going to have more, branded product that is going to have identity all over it. But the cap and the actual physical bottle, of course, is going to be fully branded. So guys, ZURI BLOOM, like I said, this is unisex. Of course, it's more floral. You can check it out on a shelf. Of course, it's less than $100 at the moment, so you can check it out. www.realregalperfumes.com. Check it out. We're on social medias. We also have a shop on Instagram. It's also Real Regal Perfumes. Real Regal Perfumes, one word. Check it out. Make sure you follow us. You can shop, and of course, if you reference this particular, live, then of course you may be actually eligible for additional discount. So make sure you reference this particular morning, Friday morning, and we make sure, of course, we accord you guys, especially when you're a first-time buyer, first-time subscriber. We also accord you additional discounts. Excuse me, guys. So then the next one I'm going to talk about is the Jelani Jewel. This is fruity. This is beautiful. I mean, you need to check it out. This is Jelani Jewel. It has a very strong pineapple dominance. So when you purchase this, if you like fruity, like I said, of course, it's unisex, but of course, it's one of our premium products. It gives you between 12, excuse me, 12 to 18 hours on this particular one, because they're all from natural ingredient. Look at the thickness of the bottle. So guys, I need you guys to support this business. Follow us, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and make sure you follow all our various social media platforms. Then the next one I'm going to talk about, oh, I'm sorry guys, I forgot. This is the Ubuntu Bloom. This one, look like you can tell, of course, all our names are all African names. Ubuntu is a tribe in Africa, which is, they have this spirit of unity. They come together, they protect their territory. And that's, of course, the whole idea being Afrocentric. Of course, we want to protect that African heritage. Of course, we're very rich in culture. The Ubuntu Bloom is a tribe which are, predominantly known for, their warrior orientation. Of course, like I said, of course, they protect their territory. So, of course, we try to bring that into the bottle by, of course, bringing you that spirit of, togetherness. When you put on the Ubuntu Bloom, maybe in the next time, of course, I come live, I'm going to talk about the notes on each and every single bottle. I know you guys are it's a Friday morning, and I'm not going to keep you guys too long, but of course, I'm going to give you guys a rundown of our products so you can have an idea. Then the next one I'm going to talk about is the Bamidele Spice. Bamidele means follow me home. This is a little woody. It's very, very nice. This is a premium product. It's from natural ingredient. No fixatives, by the way. Fixatives are, preservatives, or more like artificial ingredients applied to perfumes to make the scent last long. We don't do that here because we want to make sure whatever you're applying to your skin is not going to give you skin cancer. A lot of people buy something that they're not sure of. A lot of products out there, really cheap because they use, synthetic, more like artificial ingredients. We don't have any artificial ingredients in any of our products. They are all from natural ingredients. So, by the way, we source our ingredient from the Middle East, precisely the UAE. So we curate our product directly from the UAE. We get our oil from France. So what you're getting quality products. So this is Bamidele Spice. This is one of our premium products. Then Sankofa Spice is one of my favorite. All right. Sankofa Spice is also a premium. It's pure perfume. It's not ADP. It's not eau de toilette, and it's not a cologne, by the way. So guys, just to reiterate, of course, cologne is the lowest level, lowest grade of perfume. So when people say, okay, is it cologne or perfume? You can ask, is this for male or for female? That can make sense, but cologne is not for men. Cologne is a very, very, it has very small presence, very small oil presence. That's why they call it cologne, because it only has 2% oil presence in them. This one has 25. So can you imagine a product with 2% oil and the one with 25% oil? Of course, the performance will be different, So Sankofa Spice is one of our, top products. So I want to, kind of encourage you guys to check it out. This is a very, very premium product. And of course, it's pretty affordable. all right? Because we want to get into the door and let you guys test them. So of course, we're giving you guys at giveaway prices at the moment. Of course, comparable prices, comparable products of this magnitude, of course, is around about, 300, 400 and up, but this is actually going to be something very, very good under $100. All right. These are pure perfume. All right. So like I said, of course, we make them out of the UAE, and we're gaining traction. So just to give you guys an idea, and just to give you guys an idea of what the bottle looks like or what the package looks like once you purchase it. I like to show this presentation. This is once you purchase. This is what it looks like. It's securely sealed. Look at that. This is what you get. Of course, we seal it with a plastic wrapping. So when you want to present it to someone, to a loved one, it will give you a good presentation. So with the packaging, this is what you get. And of course, it opens like a book. So you take off the sleeve. All right. There's a sleeve on top of it. Let me take off the sleeve. You take it off. And of course, look at the styling in the front. And of course, it opens like a book. Look at that presentation, guys. This is pretty dope. This is pretty dope. So this is the sixth of our premium. This is OSUN Embrace. This is more, feminine. Is more of a, has a very, strong vanilla dominance. So if you like vanilla, this is OSUN Embrace. This comfortably, I can guarantee you, this gives you about, this will give you about 12 to 24 hours. I've tried this one on, even though it's more feminine, it will give you definitely about 24 hours. Well, at least, let me not say, because every skin reacts differently to perfume, by the way. Very important to put that out there too. So perfumes will perform differently on different skins, depending on your texture, depending on, the structure of your skin. Some people have oily skin, some people have dry skin. But you have to identify, of course, what matches your skin and how much you have to apply. So with this particular OSUN Embrace, of course, he has a very strong vanilla dominance. So if you like vanilla, this will be the magic for you. So those are the 6 different products that we carry. It's quite early in the morning on Friday. Of course, like I promised, I'm not going to take too much of your time, just to give you guys a little bit of brief information about RealRegal. We will be back later I'll be back later this evening, to talk more about layering. Then I'll be talking about the different notes that you have in each of the bottles. All right. And of course, I'm going to make the floor open as well. So if you guys have any specific question you want to ask, of course, the floor is always open. You can always type in your question. And let me make sure I'm not missing any question. So guys, I want to please encourage you guys to please subscribe to our channel, because we need to grow this channel. So of course, we can be a force in the perfume industry. So as much as, we do this work, if we don't get the right support, of course, it will all be we're just doing the work, not, we put more hard work as against, having the support of our people like yourself. So want to encourage you guys to please endeavor to subscribe. Make sure you also follow us on our social media platforms. We're on Instagram, RealRegal Perfumes. We're on TikTok, RealRegal Perfumes. We're on Facebook, RealRegal Perfumes. We're on LinkedIn as RealRegal Perfumes. We're also on X, which is, formerly known as, well, they call it X now. So, we don't want to, back in the days, they call it Twitter, but X. So we're on X as RealRegal Perfume. So make sure you follow us. And if you have any question, of course, you can always, shoot us a message. By the way, guys, I want to mention to you, we're currently running sale, new customer sale. Well, if you follow us, of course, it's going to get additional discounts on any of our platforms. So make sure, of course, you follow us on our different platforms. Facebook, Instagram. Instagram has a shop, so if you need to shop, of course, you can always click on the shop on Instagram, RealRegal Perfumes. You can also shop on TikTok. It's also called RealRegal Perfume. That's the name of the shop. So guys, I want to thank you guys very much for your time. Like I said, of course, I promise to keep it very brief. So if you guys have any question, of course, you know, we'll be back later tonight at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. So endeavor to join us later tonight. Of course, I know some people in part of the world, of course, they are probably like already in the afternoon, already in the evening time. So we're going to have different sessions. So of course, you know, we can hit different regions. So guys, thank you very much for your time. Of course, if you guys have any question, you know, make sure, but please, before you log off, make sure you click on subscribe. So of course, as soon as, you know, we hit live, of course, you can be notified. So thank you guys. Thank you very much for your time, and have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. Thank you guys. Talk to you guys later. See you guys. Adios.